Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
We absolutely adore this man. You know what? He's doing so well at the moment. He gets his own Amazon special. Wow. You can watch it right now. Available to watch exclusively on Prime Video. It's called GEM. We need to find out what that means. But it is the magnificent Hugh Van Cuylenburg.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I'll just
What have you got?
chuck
What
these
have you got?
on your desk there.
Oh my
It's a bit heavy in my pocket. These
Wow,
bloody
they your
medals.
keys. My medals.
They didn't clink too much,
Is
though.
that for
No,
the
it
night?
wasn't much of a bit. I'll try again.
Is that for the 90-minute special? Wow.
You ordered them on
Okay.
Amazon, didn't you?
What do you got, Fitz?
Okay, so it's the Australian Masters Athletics Championships, which was in Sydney 2023. Can we ask what for, Hugh?
So I am. You are. I'm guessing. This is why I'm on the show.
Yeah.
I am the second fastest man over 400 metres between the age of 40 and 44 that turned up. Yesterday. So I know.
You've only done this recently.
Yesterday.
What, this week?
Thank you very much.
How's the body feeling? Are you...
My hamstrings are not happy, but
Okay.
Is this a new thing?
I've been doing it for ages and I care way too much about it. It's like the most important thing.
Do you know what it reminded me of, though, which I love?
Apart
'cause
from your kids. Apart from your kids.
Oh, no, but that's, yeah, of course.
What I love about it, it reminded me of the rowing efforts I put in a couple of years ago where I smashed a time I didn't think I could achieve, and when I did it, no one cared. Not one person cared.
There were people in the stands yesterday, but I think that's because that's where you have to sit when you're waiting for your race.
No.
And also, it was the only shade as well. So,
Awesome.
Did you get anywhere
Well done.
near the leader at all, like the winner?
I ran. He won with 53.3, and I came second with 53.6.
Oh,
And now I'm thinking about all the stuff that I did. I had a donut the day before. Is that 0.3? I don't know.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know. I stayed up and scrolled Instagram and bed. I could have gone to bed earlier. You could be speaking to the fastest man in Australia. Between the age of 40 and 44.
He's coming on next.
Yeah. But you're still a winner. Is this something you've trained to do since
So much.
you were a
I have
kid,
no
or
idea.
why? Or have you only got into it later because you thought you had more chance because you're an older
38
guy?
years old.
38.
Really?
38. Last 4 years I've been doing it. I did it when I was a kid and I was obsessed. And then I stopped. I can't believe I'm here talking about this.
I love it.
No, but
Anyway.
Hugh, can I ask you, because 400 metres is one of the toughest events.
Disgusting.
Because the
It's
lactic
awful.
acid builds up at around about the 200 metre mark. The last 200 is horrible.
Yeah.
Now, you've spoken to some of the most elite sportsmen in the world. How do you, as a man with the Resilience Project, how do you teach yourself? Like, what do you say to yourself before something like that?
Everything goes out the window.
Yeah, I was going to say you throw it
I'm
away.
so nervous. I get anxious. I worry. I have self-doubt. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you even here? There was a guy in my race with a bodysuit yesterday.
Was there?
He's got a bloody bodysuit.
Oh, no.
What am I doing? I can't. I shouldn't
Kathy
be.
Freeman.
Yeah,
one?
that's what
no,
I
it
was
wasn't.
thinking with the full head thing.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it
Didn't have a hood on. No, but he was like, wow. And I heard him go, "This is my race," like that. And I was like,
No way.
God.
And what were you saying? What at that same
I was
time?
messaging my
What were
wife
you
going,
saying?
Like, I don't think I've got to tell you. I'll be flying back on Monday, not tonight. I'm so sorry.
This isn't my race.
This is not my race.
You're
Hey, what about
distracted.
the 90-plus category?
Well, this is okay.
I saw a photo.
Okay, yeah, I shared a photo on Instagram, but I turned up and saw one of the most beautiful things I've seen in my life. So I turned up the stadium, Olympic Stadium, right, out at Homebush here in Sydney. Beautiful stadium. And I walk in there, and the first thing I see is the 90-plus steeplechase.
What?
Steeple.
So that's got a big hurdle with a drop into water, right?
Is that
Yeah.
3,200?
And I'm watching it, and I'm watching these old people, and they're doing this. They're not running. They're like their legs aren't running. Their legs are walking, but their arms are running. So they're like heads are down. So heads are down, arms are moving furiously, but legs are walking slowly.
Yeah, but that
And
takes
I'm going,
skill. That also
"It does."
takes
And
skill
I'm going,
to do
look
that.
at these wonderful people. And then I went, hang on a minute. Because they're getting towards the hurdle. I'm going, how's this going to work?
How's it going to work?
And they literally like sort of take it in turns. They help each other.
Oh,
Swing a leg up onto
isn't
the
that
hurdle.
beautiful? Take a leg
Like,
off.
Yeah, and then like balance on the top, and then like straddle it for a bit, and then like drop off into the water, and then check their legs. Are like they would literally pat their legs like, are we good?
Yeah,
Are we,
one,
yep,
two,
nothing's
one,
broken.
two.
And I'll keep going, and they get out of the water like it's like they're climbing a mountain.
Isn't that
And they're all
beautiful?
helping each other and going, good stuff. You go, there, I'll go here. You go, and pushing, and then like.
And how many died in the race?
Is there many?
That's the best of humanity, right
Isn't that
there.
beautiful? 10 ladies left all over the place.
If you want to feel good about life, go and watch the Masters athletics and just see the best of people, and it's beautiful.
You are hard, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you could cheer for me while you're there, that'd be nice.
Is this
Squeeze it a cheer for me on the
Is
side.
part of the reason doing it is to experience in a race situation, Hugh. Like when you're talking to, let's just say,
Are we actually doing an interview about my running?
Yeah, we
that's
are.
good.
no, but
I thought you were a runner. So we've got you in. He ran a race. So I'm like, okay, let's do this.
We couldn't get Michael Johnson or whatever his name was.
You've spoken to the National Rugby League side. You've spoken to the Australian cricket team. 10 different AFL teams. But do you want to get into the headspace that these guys get into when it comes to professional sport?
I was trying to Resilience Project myself the night before in a hotel room, but which sounds weird, but and I just, I was like doing nothing that I tell them.
No.
The boys to do.
So you don't practice what you preach.
No, I actually worked with the last Olympic team and did a lot of stuff with them.
Wow.
And I was saying to myself, I was walking to the stadium going, dude, like, what did you say to them? I can't remember what I said. I was like, do I have notes in my phone of what I said to them? I can't remember what I said. Do you know, instantly, completely different story. But I did every rugby league side, I did most AFL sides, and then A-League said, oh, we'd love you to come and work with all our sides as well. Yeah. It's like, yeah, great. And they're so receptive, the football, AFL, and the A-League not as. I remember I was sitting there waiting to talk, and I won't say which club it was, but I was about to present, and the captain of this club walked past, and he goes, how are you, mate? And I went, yeah, good. And he goes, how long does this go for? And I said, it goes for an hour. And he goes, do it in 30 minutes, would you?
You're kidding me. Oh, well, you're keen to win.
So
you're
he's
here to
on
learn,
board.
aren't you?
He's on board.
Do you know what's interesting, though?
Unbelievable.
Back to what you're talking about and how you're able to give advice to somebody else but not yourself.
Yeah.
Quite often the case.
Oh.
And such a healthy thing to do, to step outside yourself and say, all right, well, if you had a friend doing what you're doing, what would you say to them?
I should have done that. I should have said,
Sorry for helping you with the Resilience Project.
Yeah,
I think
no.
coming up in episode number 35 of the podcast. You can sit that one out.
You talk about resilience. What I want to talk about, right? This all started for you. You were teaching with your teaching career. You spent a year in far north India volunteering, and you were looking after underprivileged kids in schools in the Himalayas. And you said that the resilience is in the purest form. So can you give us an idea what that is?
Looking back on it, that they were genuinely looking after me. Like I turned up there, I'm 28 years old. I think I know everything about the world. Yeah. And I turned up this community. I was like, yeah, I'll volunteer. What a good bloke. I'm such a good guy. I'm going to volunteer for 2 weeks. And I got there and there's no running. I'm in the desert. There's no running water. There's no electricity and everyone sleeps on the floor. And I said to the principal, his name is Sir Ishi. I said to him, I'm really sorry. I said 2 weeks. That I'm not sure if that was an issue with communication or language, but I didn't. It wasn't. It's 2 days. I'll do 2 days, and he looked disappointed, but he didn't look surprised. My next day was the first day in the school day. I'll never forget because I remember sitting there and I'm looking at this kid. About half an hour, I'm thinking to myself, never in my life, never have I ever seen joy like this before. Yeah, this is a kid whose feet were sticking outside the end of his shoes because he's literally cut the end of his shoes off because he can't afford new shoes. These people had nothing we would consider valuable. And I remember thinking to myself, I've never seen anything like it. And 2 weeks or 2 nights turned into 3.5 months living in this village.
Wow.
And I just wanted to know. And the backstory of that is my little sister, which most people know, was really sick with an awful mental illness, ravaged by anorexia nervosa for a long time in her life. So when I saw these people who had nothing just being so incredibly happy, I couldn't help but think about my little sister and everyone in Australia. Like, we just find it so hard to be happy.
Yes.
We have everything and so much more. Yeah. Yet we are anxious, we are sad, we have really low self-esteem, all these things. And so that's why I lived in this village for 3.5 months, because I thought I need to know, what are these people doing? And is there anything I can learn off them I could very selfishly talk to my sister about? But then when I got back to Australia, I was like, no, everyone needs to know this stuff. Everyone.
So how do you apply that?
Yeah, what did you take out of that then? When you were saying, what am I going to take home? What was it that you took back?
There were 3 things these people did every single day. And I'll talk about this kid because he was just like, his name is Stunson, and he's still my hero. Like, I've never met anyone like him. But so the first thing he did was he practiced gratitude. So gratitude, empathy, mindfulness. That's the acronym for for my show on Amazon. We've called it Gem, and it's not me saying I'm a gem. I'm worried that people, because the branding is like my name and then Gem. Everyone's like, geez, he's arrogant, isn't he?
He's got his medals again. Yeah. Dragging his medals out of his
Oh my
pocket.
God, it's going to be 90 minutes about a race.
Oh, can you do it in half, mate?
Can you do it in half?
It's very good.
Gratitude. So gratitude
The
first.
ability to pay attention to what you've got.
Yeah.
Not worry about what you don't have. And my gosh, we struggle with that in Australia.
Don't we?
If I had this car, then I'd feel happy. If I had this promotion, then I'd feel happy. We already have enough as it is, but we're focused. We all we do is think about what we don't have. Then we get the thing we don't have, and then we go, right, what else do I need? If I get that, then I'll be happy. This kid here, whenever he saw something he was grateful for, and I say this in the special, but he stopped and he'd point and he'd go, sir, and he'd try and say the word this, but he can't pronounce the TH because English is his third language, and he'd go, sir, this. And I'd say, sorry, mate. And he'd say, this. And I'd go, oh, do you mean this? And he'd go, yes, this. And I'd go, no, this. And he'd go, yes, this. And I'm the English teacher, right? So I'm going, oh, it's so close. So like, TH is like, it's a hard one, but the. And he would go, the. And I go, that's it. And he'd go, this. Awesome. But he would like, let me give you an example. Well, his shoes.
Yep.
He's tying up his shoelaces. So, this. What he was saying was, how lucky am I? I've got shoes in my feet.
My amazing shoes.
Lunchtime, like, the kids got rice. Some of the kids couldn't afford to bring lunch to school, and he was one of those kids. And so they would get a cup. One of the teachers would cook steamed rice, nothing else, just steamed rice every single day. He'd get a small cup. He'd scoop up his rice. If he walks past me, say, this. What he's saying is, how lucky am I? I get rice here every single day.
That is crazy.
Do you know what I think's interesting too, Hugh? And I mean, my kids are so lucky, as we all are. You know, we're all gifted, and I was trying to explain to them the other day how the rest of the world and a lot of people live. So I showed them footage of like slums in India.
Yeah.
And it was a great I know it seems strange to be sitting there on your comfy couch, you know, with a beautiful plasma TV saying, have a look at these guys. But what it did was it invited a whole lot of questions. Well, why don't they leave?
Yeah.
Well, they can't. Why don't they get on a plane and go somewhere? Well, they can't afford it. Well, why don't they save up? Where are they going to get the money from?
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite interesting to have that.
Yeah.
The
It's
explanation.
incredible. Yeah. And I didn't get that till I was 28. It was literally till I arrived in this village. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, but that also kind of buys into the idea that you have to have a comfy couch and a plasma TV to be happy. Like,
exactly.
why don't those kids leave
It's
that
a
area to come back?
72-inch. It's a big TV. It's a really good TV.
I mean, incredible TV. Is it like in the frame and
frame
stuff
one,
like that?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, great.
Beautiful. But do you know what I mean? It's like it's all what your idea of what brings
Context
you.
and- it's all
what
relative.
what brings you happiness?
Yeah. I remember getting back to Australia thinking, I don't even need a television. I don't even. And then, like, honestly, a week later, I was like smashing it going, why is the reception so bad? Is that any more reception? I
don't know. Isn't it beamed into your house or something? I mean,
it's not in the right place.
Here, the other thing I've done too, which we took from the last conversation, I think the work you've done with Ben Crow, was that when your kid is playing sport, they might not be the best there, and you don't know what to say, and you go with the line, I just love watching you play.
I love watching you play.
Doing that a lot. I'm doing a lot of, I love watching you swim. Swimming lessons are awesome.
Well, that's what we say to you. I love you on the show.
Yeah, I just love watching you do radio.
Watching you do radio.
Yeah.
So you're not listening? What, you're not listening?
I love, watching you.
We just love
Yeah, we do. Now, I don't mean to draw the conversation back, but I want to get to the other two things because you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, what's the E and the M?
Empathy.
Yeah, empathy is that's when you really feel what someone else feels. This kid, the first day I walked into his classroom, like I literally actually, so you would have been stuffed, but the door's it only comes up to, it comes up to exactly there.
Yeah.
And I just didn't notice. I'm nervous, new class, like, well, the kids like me. There's all these, I don't speak much English. How's this going to go? And I've just walked straight into the door, mud brick, and I smashed my head so hard.
Awesome.
I had a bump straight away.
Awesome.
Like half a golf ball size bump, massive. Yeah. I've never seen grade 3s laugh so much in my entire life.
Yeah.
I said, guys, it's really hurt. It
So
really
no
hurts.
empathy.
So you had to do that every day just to get him into the mood.
The next day, I walked back to the classroom, and this kid, the disc kid, stands, and he's standing with his arms folded under the doorway. There's a huge smile on his face. I said, "What are you laughing at?" And he looked up at the ceiling. He goes, "Have a look." He'd found an old cloth or an old rag. I don't know where he'd found it, but he filled it with leaves and sand, and he'd stuck it to the doorway to make padding just in case I smashed my head again.
You
I
did.
said, "Is that
What
what I mean?"
a
He said, "Yesterday was very bad." And I said,
Wow.
"It was. You're right." This kid was always doing things for other people.
People, yeah.
He had one set of clothes. That's it. His school uniform. That's it.
Crazy.
He slept on a dirt floor.
Yeah. Did you ever meet his family, Hugh? Did you go back to his house?
I never knew whose family was. They
No.
were all like, he stayed at, I saw where he slept. It was on this like sort of open kind of shelter mud hut type thing. And he's introduced the guy that was living there was uncle. But I never knew. They all called me uncle as well. So
Yeah, right.
I don't really know. I never knew. I never quite understood. And with the language barrier, it was hard to understand. But this kid, I was sick for a whole week. I was really sick. And every day he would sprint, like I could hear him running back to our house, and he would just come and sit next to me and just check, like, you know, he'd just sit with me, just check I was all right.
It's amazing.
And the third one was mindfulness, which is just, it's a bit of a buzzword. It's a bit annoying for people at the moment. It's like, it's just the ability to be wherever you are. And we struggle with that. We really, really struggle. Our devices rip us away from the present moment all the time. And these kids here, I mean, they were you might know someone in your life where you just think about them and you're like, when I'm with that person, I have 100% of their attention for the whole time.
Yeah.
It's and you love those people. You just love them because
That's you, Kate.
There you go.
What, me paying you attention or you paying me attention?
Both.
Or the creepy staring thing for 3.5 months?
Sorry about that.
I just love it when you do radio.
Sorry, Hugh, they turned it into a joke. I was trying to tell Kate how much we enjoy every word she says as the new member on the show.
No.
Ignore both of them. But the being present, and you're right, it's so hard to do sometimes. But your kids especially know when you are present and when you're not.
Yeah, I said to my 6-year-old the other day, I said, can you yell, when I'm on my phone and you want my attention, can you yell at me and say, get off your phone? And I've been horrified at how much yelling he's been doing the last, oh my God, I'm always doing
You feel
this.
guilty, don't you?
Oh, terrible. But he's calling me out a lot more than I realise that I do it.
When you get into bed with your wife
Oh, what are you doing?
and you're both there.
Is this empathy?
Yeah, this is...
And you're both there?
All right, and you're there. And you're lying next to her.
I'm not the best person to speak on this. We've got 3 young kids. I don't really.
And you're there and you're both on Instagram.
Oh.
That's
and
hard.
you just think,
That is hard.
you losers. You're a loser. I'm a loser. We're both losing right now.
You've got to be
We're
in the
not
moment.
talking.
Be in the
We're
moment.
not talking.
Gratitude. Well, this is
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Get off it and get on it. You know?
Is that what you've turned this whole
slogan.
whole thing into?
Just a thought.
So just straight.
It would sadden me. We were away for the weekend here. We were in the country.
Yeah.
And we were both lying there. We had a bedroom to ourselves and like, follow, comment, like,
purchase.
you know.
Add to cart.
Add to cart.
Add to cart, things
Add
like
to
that.
cart, switch light off, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah.
Start all over again. You were messaging me very early over the weekend.
Different, add to cart.
But you're right about learning things from other people, because I know that with me over the last little while, I've also had my own challenges. And I think that what I have learnt most from is, say, my 8.5-year-old daughter, because I'm thinking I'm so mean to myself. The inner critic and all the dialogue I say to myself all of the time is so awful. What would I say? What would I be telling her?
Yes.
Or what would I say? Or how, talk to myself the way I would speak to my 8-year-old child, and how I would want others to speak to her. Is there something in that?
Well, that's the purest form of the way you speak to your child. That's your best, I reckon. Like most of the time, is in that's you're projecting, you're bringing out the best of your advice to your child. There's no one you want to give better advice to.
Yeah.
So of course you should speak to yourself like that. It's very hard though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm learning from my kids. My daughter, 3-year-old, she's very quickly becoming my spiritual guru. She is just a master of gratitude. Like she is just. If something good's happening, she just yells out and goes, I love this day, like really loud.
Yeah, this is the best day ever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, we just had an icy pole.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Easy.
Yeah,
Or
we're
not
all
even.
together. We've had an icy pole. Amazing.
Yeah.
This is the best day. You're right. And
It
I was
actually is.
sitting here thinking about what I'm going to speak about on the podcast tomorrow, or what are people thinking of this show and then I'm like, no, you're having an icy pole.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yep. Yep.
That is unreal.
Enjoy the
I agree.
icy
So you
pole.
didn't rock up to the podcast. You missed out on an episode.
But I had a.
You left the
frosty
family,
fruit.
went to Masters,
I think that's a frosty fruit.
hung around to do the Fitzy and
I
Wippa
say all
show.
this stuff. People are going, "What a great guy!" Like with his family. I've been away from home for 3 days to run a lap, to run in a circle. I ran in a circle. That's what I
And
did.
came second.
Second.
But what resilience, you know?
Yeah, if you guys want to post the video of my race, it's a great race. I'm so close. It's
We'll wrap it up there, Hugh. We'll keep moving.
No, you're inspirational, Hugh, and it's well, you get your own Amazon special now as well. And if you want to go and watch it, it's available to watch exclusively on Prime Video.
You've got to watch. You've got to look for my hair because I don't like. I'm viciously and aggressively receding.
Yeah.
And the lady who did my hair, you guys might know her, Mon, who
Yeah.
she
no, Mon.
absolutely
Pulled it
has
back.
given me the opposite.
Sideswipe.
I showed my 3-year-old daughter the trailer of my Amazon thing.
She
and
went, "Who's
and-
that?"
Yeah, no, she said, "Whose hair is that?" It's
That's all right.
wonderful. My hair looks. It's just enjoy it for the hair.
So do you comb over a bit, Hugh? Because I did that
I go
for
from
years.
the right to the left,
Yeah,
so like that,
gotcha.
and then I brush, then I pull forward. I do a drag forward.
Mate, and
then-
You don't even have to ask him that. It's
Yeah.
so obvious
The
that's
wind
what he's
blows.
doing.
I went through that for years, and I'm constantly looking in mirrors
Every
and
mirror,
reflections.
every reflection.
It's horrible.
I can help you with
Just
that
walk around
after
with
the
this.
show.
No, but I take tablets. And
Oh, you
I
do? What do you
drops and I Propecia. No.
Minoxidil.
What is that?
He's on heavier
oh
stuff.
my goodness.
I'm on drops and tablets.
Okay.
You need to, Hugh. You need to love yourself more.
If you'd shaved your head,
Yeah.
you probably would have come first.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, aerodynamic.
That's point 3 for sure.
My thin hair was just flying everywhere in the wind, and it's held me back 0.3.
It has. Mate, there's a victory to be had.
Come over, Hugh. We love you, mate. Thank you very much for coming in. We really appreciate
You're so great. You're such a contradiction.
You made
No,
it's very true.
I love it. I love
No,
it
but you
because you
need to,
know
like-
what? Some guy, men and women, they stand up, they give all this advice. You think they have the most wonderful life. They've got it all in check. They can
I'm
walk
not
in.
saying be like me.
And, you know what I mean? You can walk in there, win the race because they've got everything under control. It's actually quite nice.
I'm not saying be like me. I was actually saying in the show, I'm not a self-help guru. Like, I'm not a wellbeing guru going, guys, do what I did. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I know what's good for you and I do it and it helps. But then I also like brush my hair forward and like.
That's what makes you so appealing, Hugh.
I usually wear a hat actually, but but I do want to say this. I've said this to all off air, but this is the show. I actually, because when the publicity comes around for these things, they're like, "What shows do you want to do?" I went, "Oh, I don't know, just like whatever." And I said, "But I would actually really love to do. I would love to do this one. Like, I actually asked to come on this one because we don't get this in Melbourne, but I watch all the videos and I love it, and I think you guys are so good, and so I actually asked to come on here, and I had this fear of like. Because then I said, "Oh, am I on?" And my manager goes, "Haven't heard back from them yet." And I was like, "Oh my god, awesome." The one I've asked to go on, I think they've said no. But it's so good to be here. Sorry for hassling you. It's great to
No,
be
we
on the
don't
show.
often take people that beg, but
I just turned up out the front.
No,
Here.
just leave the invoice, and we'll leave you the invoice. No, Hugh,
Thanks for
thank
having
you
me,
so
guys.
much, mate. Thank you.
good to see you.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.